Hey everyone, welcome to the channel, and today we're going to be taking a look at a very exciting LEGO Star Wars set. Given set number 75387, this is the Boarding the Tantive 4. With 502 pieces, the set is 8+. This set contains Darth Vader, 2 Stormtroopers, Captain Antilles, and 2 Rebel Fleet Troopers. Here is a look at the box art, transitioning our way up to the top box art with a scale of the Captain Antilles minifigure right here to the right. Here's a look at the back of the box, showcasing some of the play features of this set. It looks very nice, and up here you can see some of the play features that we'll get into in the review. The first minifigure we're going to be taking a look at is Darth Vader. Now, this is not exclusive, but it is a very good figure nonetheless, with some leg printing, some torso printing, and a very nice helmet mold. Here's a look at the lightsaber, and you can see there is some arm printing on this figure. Here's a look at the back printing. You can see it looks very nice, as well as the helmet can remove to reveal a very nice face print. This is kind of Darth Vader or Anakin Skywalker giving an angry face, which is different than the ones we've gotten before. Here's a look at the printing on the back of the head, which shows the scarring. Next up are the 2 Stormtroopers, which are pretty much identical. However, there's one difference, which we'll get to later. The Stormtrooper overall looks really nice, nothing exclusive. Here's a look at the blaster, and a look at the back printing. It looks very good. Here's a look at the helmet, and you can see it's the same one we've been have since 1999. Nothing new. And you can see there is some different heads to give some variety. Next figure we're going to be taking a look at is Captain Antilles. The legs are rather disappointing. This figure should have had dual molded legs. It looks kind of bland otherwise. The torso looks very nice with some nice flesh printing on the collar. Here's a look at the back printing. Nothing special, but nice. And the gun is silver. And here's a look at the head printing, a little bit older, and the back of the head. And the helmet piece is very nice. Next up, we have the Rebel Troopers, which again have the same problem of not having dual molded legs. The torso is very nice. I'm not sure why there's a black spot over the collar. Here's a look at the head printing, which is the same on both figures. And here's a look at the back printing and the back head printing, which looks very nice. Next up, we have the ARC Trooper 5s, and this is a very controversial figure for many valid reasons. Now, this figure is a special inclusion with the 25th anniversary series of minifigures. One of the biggest complaints of this figure is the lack of a physical pauldron piece. Instead, they printed it on the figure, which is definitely not ideal. The torso printing looks very good, and you can see there's some nice detail. Here's a look at the helmet, which again looks good printing-wise, but unfortunately is a bad mold with the helmet holes. And the arm printing looks very good. Definitely a nice inclusion. And there is some different arm printing on the other arm. And here's a look at the back piece that this figure has. Here's a look at the neck seal, which has some nice printing, but it sits very flat in the ARC Trooper, which is a downside. Here's a look at the back printing, which looks very nice. That is under the neck attachment. And here's a look at the head, which should have had an extra hairpiece, but it doesn't. Here's a look at the display stand for this figure, which looks very nice. Not exclusive, but this follows the 25 years of LEGO Star Wars, and this is what you get for it. Here's a look at the Tantive 4 hallway itself, and I think it looks rather nice. It is a substantial build, a lot larger than I thought it would be, with a lot of cool techniques and pieces used. I am a particular fan of the way the walls were built. You can see here that they're kind of tiled off very nicely. Here's a look at the top of the Tantive 4 with some nice arches, and it is just looking very nice. I do think it should have been tiled off in all white for a cleaner look. Unfortunately, the stickers on this set do not match very well, and it's 2 different shades of white, which is definitely not a good thing. Here's a closer look at that, and you can see they're just completely different shades of white. The door is printed, and it looks fantastic, and you can also see some detail on the door. Here's a look at the back of the model, which looks straight out ugly. It is just terrible, but good thing you aren't looking at it from the back. Here's a look at the mechanism for one of the main play features, which is to open the door, and this is a fantastic play feature, and you can see it is pretty darn simple. With all you need to do is pulling this knob here, and here you can see the door opening, which looks very clean and very nice. Here's another angle, and you can see that it just slides right open. Now, I'm not sure why they included this, but there's also another place that you can do this feature, and it just connects right up. And here you can see doing it from that angle, which, again, works seamlessly. And you can see how simple this mechanism really is, but it does work very well. Now, looking at the door cutout, it is fantastic with a bunch of orange tiles and slopes, which are transparent. It looks very good. Here's a little spot for you to put Darth Vader in the back, and you can see how that works. Unfortunately, you can't really chop down the door, but it is a cool effect. Moving on to the floor of this set, which you can find some gaps and some different colored studs. Here's a look at the gaps I was talking about, which do serve as one of the play features of this set. So what you're supposed to do is place the minifigures on these spots, which are represented by these studs. There are 2 more for the stormtroopers on this side, and you can just place them on. It's very easy to do. Now, actually, what you're able to do is you can change these levers, and the rebels or the stormtroopers will go flying, which is fantastic. I love the functionality of this. And here you can see how they just fly like this, so they have like a battle or like they're shooting each other. And there's also this transparent piece included, which you can have Darth Vader choking. And here is a look at one of the connection points of the set, so you can double up this set to expand it. Talking about the set overall, this is a fantastic set and definitely one of the best Star Wars play sets ever made. There are so many cool play features on this set, and retailing for $54.99 USD, this is a fantastic value set with 7 minifigures. There's also some great techniques on the set, and it looks very good. Alright everyone, that's going to do it for this video. Thanks for sticking to the end, and if you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button or subscribe. Thanks for watching.
Lego, Lego, let's create and dream. Together we will build a wondrous thing. Piece by piece we will make magic, you will see. In our Lego world where we wild